But here we have it coming from Clarence and Walker. They say, so you are genetically gifted as an athlete. Natural born genetics from athletes usually will take you very far, and that's the thing. Sometimes is that genetics. You can have the genetic gift, but sometimes hard work also is a factor. Because sometimes even hard, like one of my favorite quotes is from is an anime I used to watch, Naruto, where the boy says, he's a naturally gifted athlete, but I have hard work, and sometimes hard work can take you far.
Mhm.
Here we have here from my man KL. He's always says this. It says, "I'm a hater with the lightsaber. Call me Darth Vader." He's my brother. I love him. He does content too. He's more of a fan of the muscle women, but we try to teach him about the overall parts. But hey, as I said,
For
I'm a
sure.
muscle person like him, but I'm learning. I get to learn a lot when I have conversation with y'all ladies about what it takes to be an athlete. And again, people need to understand that when women come and say, "I don't want muscles like yours," you have to work to get that muscle. You have to be
Hmm.
consistent. You have to follow a diet. You have to follow a plan. People always say, "Man, where you always steroids," but here's the thing: is it's only a small factor to the sport.
Hmm.
If you don't train, stick to a regimen, eat healthy, follow a diet, work out regularly, just follow whatever your coach puts in front of you, where you can develop your body to the point where, yeah, you can get on stage and compete with some of the top level competitors. And, and when you're training, what's that thing you like the most when you're training? The thing you say, I don't want to do it today, but I know I got to do it.
My son is my driving force for everything. You'll hear me say that. Um, I don't give up. I'm not a quitter. There's so many things in my life that I have done that I wish I could redo, but I've never quit anything except once. And when you've been, um, a lot of your internal intestinal fortitude come from experiences. And I have never been the top tier because I didn't know how to. I didn't know what that looked like, what top tier athleticism looked like. And so every time you miss the mark on pieces and you're never good enough for something, you're never good enough for that space or this space. When you're in a space where you are the only predictor of that, that means that if I want to be competitive with vitamin C, I got the ability. I got the one of the best coaches. Now I just got to put in the work. That includes everything that's needed. So my son, every time that I don't want to get up in the morning time, I get up and I go. But my clients also, you know, everybody say professionalism, professionalism. I'm very professional with my clients because when they want something from me, they get it. Programs, meal plans, conversations, coaching sessions, all of that. But my clients root for me like their family. Like, I mean, when I tell you they ride for me, they ride for me. My clients, some of my clients have been with me for 10 years plus. And they look at me and they say, Nisi, you've got so much potential. And many of them have read my book, understood where I've come from. And they're like, you know what, coach, you got so much in you. You are going to make it to the top. And having that much support coming from someone who did not have that before changes everything. So my son, my clients, and also my family. So my son is going to include my mom too. My mom, my brother, my father, my family number one, and then my clients who have become family. Like when you just got people riding for you, not pushing you to say, "Oh well, you got to do it." No, do what's best for you. But I know that you have the capabilities to be your best. That right there is everything. Like that's my driving force. Getting up every morning, knowing that I still hear people, regardless if they text or call, Coach Nisi got this today. She's gonna show up for herself. And even when I don't, they're like, all right, so what's happening tomorrow? They listen to me. So what are we gonna do it tomorrow? So that my driving force is definitely is always gonna be my son, my mother, my brother. Like that's all I got.
Yeah, I appreciate that. As truthfully, like, some people don't understand when you get into sport. So you have family friends, and they say, "What's this thing about?" And they just sometimes they don't know the whole details of bodybuilding because it's just not as well known. But the question I want to ask is what the body part you really have to work on. But yeah, I use that. I like the other stuff too. That's pretty good. Thank you for that. So like the thing, like after, like I know, like after the critique, what's the things you need to fix now? You get into your prep for next year. The things
My
that you need.
core, my core, and coming in with a fuller back. My core and my fuller back. Yep.
Yeah, because I think with y'all girls in figure, y'all have to need those the wider shoulders, the capped, wider
My
back, capped
shoulder's great.
shoulders.
It's the back. It's the formation of the back. So I have beautiful rounded shoulders. They said don't make them any bigger, or else I'm going to go into another division. My shoulders are great. It's going to be more so my back and my. I'll just actually say my lower half too because my quads have a hard time separating, especially during peak week. We're trying to figure out what that looks like. But my quads for sure and my core. We're going to bring in a tighter waistline. I made mistakes years ago and I have a wide waistline. So it's going to take me a little bit longer to shake that down, bring it down, and get my body back into that shape, that particular, the Dorito shape that I had when I got my pro card.
Yeah, and you mentioned vitamin C. That is Mrs. Sydney Gillen, right? Is
I
that
love
your
her.
post? Is that your
Absolutely.
posing coach?
She is not. Sharonica Hinton, who placed number three
Three.
in
Wow.
the
Wow.
she placed number three in the whole wide world. Let me make sure I say that.
Yeah.
Okay. She is my
Correct.
coach.
Yeah,
Yes, that's
I'm a fan of
my
Miss
girl.
Hinton. I've been in contact with her. I hope maybe something I get to do an interview with. I know she interviewed with a couple people I follow. And maybe something to get on my channel. I know I'm just like to get my hands on her. But congratulations on her and her fiance Chris and their engagement. I hope they were in Vegas and I will get married there. That's the marriage, the wedding city. Yeah, those are amazing people. I mean, with now Sid stepping away, and that's I think it's going to change the landscape of division. I watched the Olympia. She's
Yeah, I did
amazing
too.
physique. She works with one of my. She's also the posing coach of one of my favorite people of all time. I just love her. That is Andrea Shaw.
Oh my gosh. I
I,
love
I'm, I, I'm a
Miss
simp.
Beautiful.
I'm a sip over her. Kale's gonna hate me on this because let him hate. Cause let him hate you. Because a while back, a friend of mine was at the Olympia last year, and she got this issue for me. And what made this so, and I'd love to bring this out because this is my pride and joy. She signed it for me.
I see it.
I love you, Andrea. I know. I used to do a thing like to talk about I got a homeboy, a man named Keith. He knows her. He met her a few times. They know her well. I used to pick on him about it, but I don't do it anymore because shot my man Big Keith. He may return after what he went through hell to get back to the stage, and I
Yeah,
don't do it anymore. But she is just. Did you watch the Olympia?
I did. Every bit of it.
Yeah. What's your thoughts on it? We get a critique where we feel like some people should have placed a little better. Some people, especially, I think like one point is like this one lady who competes in figure. Her name is Manon. I think she's moved over to physique because to figure division, y'all ladies are looking more like how when physique first started.
Hmm.
Even some of you ladies even surpassed the level of people like maybe Judy Montecani or Daleen Bailey, or I know a friend of mine just did an interview with her, Danny Weirden. She was a
Hmm.
top level competitor. Is anybody you follow in the sport that you're a big fan of?
Oh man, you know what? In all honesty, as a new competitor, I am, and as a new pro, I am a fan of everyone, honestly, right? Because it's a lot in bodybuilding. Um, it's a lot to get here. You know what I mean? If you got that pro card, I don't care if there was one person in your category. You worked hard to get here because prep is not easy. But when you talk about some of my favorites, Sharonica, she's been one of my favorites for a very long time. You talk about Zenobia. Zenobia, I mean, one of the best physiques I've ever like. She just stayed small, waistline, beautiful shoulders, beautiful back all year round. The same thing with Sid, very beautiful, small taper. You have Jessica. I love Jessica Padilla, Natalia. I and even Lopez. I love them all. Like I could go down the list of them. But what I will say, as a competitor, the one thing that we don't know is what the judges are looking for. And I go by the critiques of what the judges tell me to do. I usually see the same judges throughout my prep, my competition season. And one of the things that I've learned not to do is to say, oh, someone should have placed better or someone should have not. I leave that to the civilians, those who are not bodybuilders, because I never know what the judges are looking for. I just go simply by what the judges have told me I need to do. Because every year, based on who wins the Olympia, it's usually their eye and what they're looking for in certain areas. Every judge will come in with their own details. Now, do I think it should be a little bit more constructed? I think we all do, right? Maybe come in with something that's plausible. But Sid is the best. You know what I'm saying? I think her name who won in physique, they're the best. Uh, everybody who won this year at the Olympia, that's who you should be focused on, right? What they look like, not mimicking their body, but they're what they got. Full delts, full cap, full glutes, nice striated quads, whatever their design was, right? That was top 5. That's who you should be looking at. And so, for me, I stay away from saying, oh, the judges should have done this, only because we never know what the judges are looking for. That's not our job. And so for me, I focus on me building, restructuring, and getting to where I need to go and fixing those little minor details and getting better, 1% better every time I step on the stage.
Yeah. Well, as a civilian, yes, I'm going to critique the judges, but from people I talk,
And you can, and
yeah,
that's your business.
yeah, that's my business. And this is my job because I do content on your ladies.
Yes.
And often, like I say, I talk to the ladies. They also have the critique. So sometimes I think that what it is, the criteria keeps changing in each and every division every other year. Like when bodybuilding started out with just the men, then the women came along. Then here comes fitness. Here comes figure. Here comes 212. Here comes men's classic. Here comes bikini. Here comes wellness. Because they were trying to find divisions to work with everybody's body types. But
Absolutely.
but when you look at, you have a girl who might possibly go up to women's physique, and you see some women might go up to women's bodybuilding. You just, the thing is, the criteria should stick with what they started with. I know you have to adapt and change with the athletes, and that's the thing is, that's why I think y'all women get more hammered compared to the men. The
Oh,
guys
yeah.
get as big as a Big Ramy or as Samson Dua or as Derek Lungford or Brandon Ray. They can get as big as they want, but y'all women have to stay within
We
confines.
do. We
And
do. My
that's
God.
that's unfair double standard. But that's the thing is, society is going to give y'all women the double standard. Here we have here. This is from my man's Clarence and Walker. Shout out to them. He says, "I feel your passion, Miss Ewing. Love your sincerity and honesty. God bless you, sister." Thank you, brother.
Thank you so much.
Also, sorry, this is my man Kale. When he says, "You do a little psychology behind why people eat certain food." Yeah,
I
and the
do.
thing is, food is part of the process, but sometimes it's the right food. Like I know after your last show, and everybody has that desire, because you've been on diet, you've been prepping, and it's calling you. Sometimes those things that make you stranger make you stronger. So tell me, Nesi, tell me, share me, what was that thing you wanted, the thing you desired the most?
So, wings, French fries, and a donut. That's it. Wings, fries, and a donut. I got wings. I got 10 wings, fried hard, lemon pepper. I don't do too many, but fried hard. I didn't even eat all 10. I only ate 5. Um, Large order of French fries. I don't do condiments. Never really like ketchup. And I got a donut. Actually, I had 3 donuts. One of my clients came to my room and brought me fresh donuts, and I ate 3 of them right there before I even ate food.
You should have went over to Sheena Olick, and I interviewed Sheena before, and I've met her when I was in Savannah. She is a donut freak, so she loves donut. If you follow Sheena, she's a donut freak. One time, while I was at Savannah, we were talking, and she was like, just get off the stage for prejudging. I said, well, here's Snickers, you can have that. I give it to her because. But yeah, that is the thing about the food. I mean, everybody has their favorites. I have heard, the typical is usually like, burger and fries, pizza. I mean, but that thing is, it's just little joys you have every now and then. Also, I know your coach, he puts a refeed, or is you sometimes call a cheat meal in your
Refeed.
process, because call it, some people call it cheat meal. It's a refeed. That's what it is. But you know how it is. The sayings. And it's the good thing that you get the chance to enjoy that food a little bit, but it's not an important part
Mm-mm.
of your diet, but it's necessary. I know you got a teenage boy. He ain't gonna be eating what you eat all the time. He's a growing boy. I know he's talking about, hey, yo, folks, the sergeants come in, fry those hot wings hard, not just hard,
So my
good.
son, my son eats just like I do. My son is a track star. My son
Uh-huh.
is a track athlete, and I am so grateful. So grateful. My son eats similar to how I eat. So he doesn't eat as many, but my son does not like a lot of fried food. He does not do a lot of sugars. He might want some M&Ms or a cinnamon roll every now and then. But my son is very, 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 very strict on his nutrition because he wants to be the best at where he's at. He doesn't like to feel heavy. He doesn't like to be uncomfortable in his clothes. He doesn't like to feel full. And this is something that started when he was younger. He did not like a lot of food on his plate. Don't put a lot. Let him ask for seconds, because sometimes if he didn't want it, he wasn't going to eat it. And my rule was, if I put it on your plate, you're going to eat it. And so he would eat it, and he was like, "Mom, I'm full." I'm like, "Are you sure?" So my baby is not a big eater, not at all. So
Mhm.
I am grateful that my I don't have to do a lot of deviation when I cook for him. My baby eats good.
That's good. That's good that he's still a grown boy, but it's good that he's a smart young
He can
man.
eat. I didn't say he can. He can eat now. He eats me out of house and home. If anybody want to donate, listen,
Like I
I'm
said,
all for it.
my mom had to raise 6 kids plus us, and she had 3 boys and plus 2 grandsons to raise. I can tell you from experience, I don't eat like as much like I used to. It kind of sticks in a certain area. But yeah, we have here from man, Clarence. He says Lola Montez is my favorite. I like her too. I think
Oh
she
yeah,
has
she's
great physique,
gorgeous.
beautiful
She's
physique.
gorgeous.
I
Lois,
wonder if what she needs now that with uh with Sid gone, what would she need to get to that spot? Because you got Monica Reyes. I'm sorry, Jessica just did a show last week. She's
Hurricane.
already qualified. Yeah, Hurricane Pro. To me, I'm like, person like this. You're already qualified. You're number 2 behind the champ. You're just taking up, spots and space from other people.
So there's reasons behind that. So I've done my research, and I've talked to a lot of pros who used to go back in the day, and that's what they do. They go to the bigger shows to get in front of the eyes. Jessica probably will not do any more shows. She may do about maybe 2 or 3 more before the Olympia, but you have to still get in front of the judges. That's the only reason why I came out this year. You want to get in front of the judges and still make them remember your name. Yeah, they know they watched the Olympia, they know who you are, but they want to see your progress. So, how did she come off the Olympia stage? What happened after the Olympia? So, did she get drier? Did she lean out a little bit more? Did her body fill out, her muscularity come through a little bit more? There's so much detail. And that's one of the reasons why, again, I stay away from the critiques, because just listening to various people, when they go on stage, your body changes. Because I promise you, the way that I showed up on stage is not how I looked the next day. I was a lot leaner. That water had come off. I mean, I needed to go back on stage because I would have done very well, but my body didn't catch up with all the stress that I had been through. And so for competitors, they just want to make sure that we stay in front of the judges' eyes. We want to make sure they never forget our name, because if they forget your name, it's not to say that they're gonna judge unfairly. Um, I would not say that, because that would be unfair to say, but they are definitely going to they'll be like, oh, okay, you got to work for your spot. If you've been out the game 3 4 years and you don't come back with a great package, you got to work for that top 10 slot. You got to put in the work and show that you can come back and do. So I think that for whatever her critique was, I know Lola's going to come back with it. I know, Jessica's going to come back Even better. And she might be the top one. Lola might be the top one. It might be somebody new, but you got to stay in front of the judge's eyes. You've got to. You got to make sure they never forget you and they can see your progress. Because one judge, she has been at every freaking show that I had. I won't say her name. And she gave me hell every feedback. I mean, I would place second. I would place third. And it would frustrate me. And I asked my coach, I said, Coach, I just don't think this judge likes me. And my coach, my opposing coach, Sharonica, was very well versed with her, know who she is, told me some things about what she's doing. She actually goes back and reviews her notes of who you are. She actually follows you and understands you. And so she sees your progress and where you started from your last show to now. She's going to be basing her feedback off of where you should be if your body was one space and now it's gone into the other. So she said, be patient, Nesi. I promise you. She's following you. Every time she critiques you, it's fair because it's going to be based off of the package you brought last. Especially those who are coming back. I was like, well, damn, okay, can I get a little break here? Nah, because she told me something backstage and it didn't resonate until I got my pro card. She was telling me that where I'm going, I needed to do something and it didn't click until I said it about 25 times in the back, talking to my coach crying. Coach, I didn't make it. I didn't make it. And he's like, calm down. And so what I will say is that judges, they see you, you get in front of them, they're going to remember what your last package was. And your representation means everything. So if you come in there nice and tight, definitely they're going to remember what you look like and how your body could be progressing going forward.
Yeah, that's the truth. It's a progress as this sport, and to quote one of my favorite. I'm a big movie buff. I love quoting movies because this is one from the Batman Begins series. Beware surrounds of all times. Never give a sure fooling for a killing below. And that's the thing you have to know, understand. Sometimes people might not like what the coaches are saying because you feel it's getting to it too much.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And then you got to take your feelings out of it and use your rational mind. That's the thing that separates humans from animals. We have a rational mind, but we're emotional creatures also. And sometimes critiques are good. I know one lady, she said in an interview that she doesn't get the judges' critiques. I understand. She's done pretty good. She did a couple of shows. She was able to crack the top 10 at the Olympia, but then she did a show, Texas Pro, where she was like next to in the top 10, but not as high in 5th place.
Yeah.
She has a great physique. I'm a fan of hers. And I think that thing is that sometimes the critique does help us. It's all depending on where you get it from. We have here a comment from our man Clarence. He says, I saw the mug you drinking. You have a Dallas Cowboys logo on it. You a Dallas Cowboy fan? You a Cowboy fan?
And so before I decide to click off, don't you dare say anything. All right. Yes, I am. I have been since the age of 3 years old. You better fix your face. You better close it up. Yes, I am. I am a very proud Dallas Cowboy fan. Absolutely. I am a very sane Dallas Cowboys fan. They don't look like nothing right now. So I'm with you. I get it. But if you say something negative, it's going to be me and you.